Righto, tally-ho there champs, and welcome to the show. So you want to know what the best gaming graphics card is to buy? Well, you just buy the Republic of Gaming Strix GeForce GTX 1080 Ti overclock version. That's the best one to get. So I think I can end my review right here. Oh, okay, so you want to know why. Okay, so there is actually a system builder in America called Puget Systems. They make high-end computers, and pretty much every time they use a third-party GPU, they will use a Strix card. And the reason why is the reason why I would buy a Strix card. First thing is reliability. Puget Systems do a lot of testing, and obviously the ASUS graphics cards are the most reliable, otherwise they wouldn't use them. And that's probably the main reason I would buy a Strix graphics card. And the one I'm reviewing today, of course, is the GeForce GTX 1080 Ti Republic of Gaming Strix overclock version. Uses that Auto Extreme technology, which means it's a 100% automated production process. And that's why you can be pretty confident the reliability on the ASUS card is going to be there, because a 100% automated production process is much better than humans making these graphics cards. So the reliability is there straight away. Another reason I would get the Strix card is because they're quiet, so quiet. Use the painted in Wingblade IPX5X certified fans here. Long lifespan, they really push out a lot of air, but they're very quiet. And you have 3 on the front here, matte black plastic shroud. And not only are they quiet, their heat sinks are the best. 6mm pipes. They pretty much have the thickest pipes on a Strix graphics card. On this model here, you have 2 thick premium aluminium heat sinks. You have a heat spreader that has 2 times the contact on the GPU for improved thermal transfer. And if you look at this thing, it is a beast. It is huge. It's 2.5 slaughter here, talking like nearly 30 centimeters in length and like 5 centimeters thick. It is very big graphics card. But when you pay the extra money to get this Strix card, you know why you're paying the money. For that massive heat sink and the way it performs. And you will see later it performs so good. Looking at the back, you have a matte black aluminium plate there with the Republic of Gaming logo that can be lit up and controlled with the Aura software. Also on the top there, you have some more RGB lighting, Republic of Gamers there, and again, controlled with the Aura software. On the I/O, you have 2 HDMI 2.0 ports and 2 display ports and 1 DVI port there. So you're covered for VR there with the 2 HDMI ports and 2 display ports too. Fantastic combination of I/O there. And if you look around to the front end of the graphics card, or the rear end, whichever way you want to say, you have an RGB header, again can be controlled with the Aura software, and you have 2 fan headers, and that means you can control the fans off the graphics card. So for example, you say once your graphics card hits a certain temperature, you put that setting in that your case fans will start cranking to give it a bit more air. Fantastic idea. I really love that. So as usual, on the top it has 2 SLI fingers. Now also on the top you have dual 8-pin 2-phase power setup here, so you know you're going to get the juice that you need. And that's it for the tour. You have to check if it was going to fit in your case, and if you go on SLI you want to have a really big case there. I tried it in the Alienware graphics amp and it just fit. I didn't actually want to close the lid because I didn't want to scratch the graphics card, but it just fits in that. I've been suffering the pain of the Titan X for the last nearly a year now, and I'm so glad this come out. Finally I can get a top of the line performance graphics card that's cool, reliable and silent. And this thing is really silent. You can barely notice it even under full load. The fans don't come on till about 55 degrees. You can really see that heat sink is doing its job. This is the OC version, so it does come with an overclock out of the box, and it's 1594 megahertz core clock versus 1481 of the stock, and a boost clock of 1708 megahertz versus 1582 of the stock 1080 Ti. Now this uses GP102, the exact same GPU as the Titan X, has 11 gigabytes RAM. Its memory is faster than the Titan X, and this is the last Titan X. They've released a new one, but I'm talking about the first Pascal Titan X. And pretty much other than that, it's exactly the same, except it has half the amount of ROPs that the Titan X has. So this thing should boogie then. I'll go through some benchmarks here and I'll compare them to the Titan X stock, and I've used this 1080 Ti in OC mode using the ASUS software, and all these games are on high settings, 4K, just one setting below Ultra, and with Dsx Mankind Divided I was getting 61 frames, 4K high settings. Now this is the first graphics card I've tested that gets over 60 frames on Dsx Mankind Divided, and that was a whopping 11% faster than the Titan X. Now you can overclock the Titan X, so things will get a bit closer, but still 11%, that's a massive difference. And this ASUS Strix card runs a lot cooler too. You know, we're talking 20 degrees cooler than the Titan X. GTA 5, high and very high settings, 88 frames per second, 4K. Battlefield 1, 87 frames per second, 4K high settings. And if you weren't going to game 4K and you just want to use one of these for a high refresh rate monitor, on Battlefield 1 you'll get 144 frames per second, high settings, 1440p. So whichever way you go, 4K or high refresh 1440p monitor, it's going to pretty much max out everything. Crysis 3, 80 frames per second, high settings, 4K. And by the way, this 1080 Ti Strix card here was 4.7% faster than the Titan X in GTA 5 and 3.5% faster in Battlefield 1, and barely got over 70 degrees, whereas the Titan X can run into the 90s and you can barely hear it. And pretty much this graphics card out of the box is really clocked pretty much to the sweet spot. You can get more out of it. I overclocked and got a maximum boost speed of 2063 megahertz. But I would just leave it in the OC mode. You're not going to get much more than a 2000 boost clock there, so you might as well just leave it in OC in my opinion. So I'll just show you now me gaming GTA 5. You can look up in the top left hand corner for the frames per second, temperature, etc. Hope you enjoyed this review. If I helped you out there, give me a thumbs up there. No brainer, pretty much the best graphics card you can buy. I'm not even going to mention price because, you know, it's like $13.99 in Australia, I think. And look, there's a lot of price gouging going on now because it's a new card. The Strix is the most sought after card, so it does have the higher price because everybody wants the Strix. And this has nothing to do with ASUS. This is just supply and demand, and the resellers they can charge whatever they want because they're in such high demand. So I'd like to really thank you guys for watching. Got lots more tech content coming soon. If you're new around here, why not subscribe? And until next time guys, tally ho.